Hey folks, this is just a short video. We're having a starting problem with the series at the moment. I thought I'd fixed everything. And basically the symptoms are, oh my goodness, the symptoms are it's bloody cold today. I'm working one-handed, as is usual. Ignition on, choke out a smidge, crank engine. That's all it does. Now, what I do next is I think, well, hang about a second, I wonder if there's a dodgy circuit going to the coil, because this thing was working properly, so I cleaned all the connections up. The battery positive goes on a big thick cable to the top of the solenoid, starter solenoid. So the battery connects to one side of the solenoid and the starter motor connects to the other side, and underneath the main terminal that goes into the solenoid is all of the brown connections and so forth, brown wire, brown feed wires that go to the ignition circuits. So the first thing I did naturally was to take that nut off, clean everything up, put Vaseline on it so it's not going to corrode again, and put it all back together again. Made no difference. The battery's healthy enough. Now this is the one where I told you on a previous video, if I hurled 14 volts at it, it would start instantly. So what we're going to do here is a wee experiment whereby I connect up the positive side of the coil, if I can get the clock clip on it. So positive side of the coil, there we are, is connected directly to the battery. Now I'm expecting a spark here because I'm energising the coil while I'm doing this. Right, so now the coil's got its own 12 volt feed. Now I'm not going to leave it like that for long because obviously it's going to overheat the coil. Now, let's see what happens. Right, now it's started. I can take this wire off and it will stay running. Alright? And the reason for that is that the circuit is now going through the... Fuck you, that was quite a big shock, just came off there. My finger just touched the HT lead. So we know the coil's working. Bastard. Okie dokie. Right, so I have been through the whole electrical system. I've cleaned up all these white terminals on this side of the fuse box. One of those wires goes through to the coil. That's the other end of a white wire for some reason. Anyway, so I've cleaned everything up. I've put a new terminal on the bottom of the coil. I've basically tidied every single piece of wiring up around the starter solenoid where most of the wires go in. I've checked the ignition switch and that works. Ignition's on at the moment, so let me just turn the ignition off before I reconnect the battery. And then we can see if any of this effort has worked. Right, let's go and give them a start. I think everything's back where it should be now. Oh! Right. It's not encouraging, is it? It's because it's cold. I think really it needs to go for a good old test and warm up. Now the other thing that's buggered on this car is the dip switch down there. Has also burnt out, but while I was, let's turn you off for a minute because I don't need you on for a minute. While I was messing around in here, I noticed that the dip switch wiring was never replaced when we did the loom replacement, and it doesn't look the best really, does it? So I'm going to make up a brand new loom for the dip switch, and route that through. The old loom, it came out, wasn't as nasty as I was anticipating, because most of it is the outer flex having come off, but It is quite rigid and chunky. I had to chop it in the end because I couldn't get the fixing undone underneath the car. So I got the whole thing out in 2 chunks so I could measure out the length for a brand spanking new loom, which I've made up. There he is. And then I got the switch out. Now the switch, it's not looking great, is it? I think what's happened here is that little tab there has popped out, which means that sometimes that's just doing nothing. Then it clicks, 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 doesn't. So I'm going to take it apart because I've got nothing else to lose. But I have got another one. Comes in a blue box of joy. Looks exactly the same construction. I suspect that this one would have come in a blue box of joy originally also. You can hear that's got a nice positive click, click, click. So let me go and get, because I've got nothing to lose by taking the cap off this and finding out what on earth is going on in here, and undoing the terminals and finding out what the big old spring that's in there, and this lug here I think has just moved, which is why it's popped up at a jaunty angle. It doesn't always see what's going on. Right, okay, there's a new one there. Put new one back in blue box of wonderment. And now I think what we'll do here is just see if we can bend this tab out slightly, which I can do like that. A little bit further. There he is, he's out. And then inside we have got a girt big spring, followed by a plunger, followed by a little spring for the return, or probably the click. Now, it looks like all it does is it moves that from side to side. That's all it does. That is all it does. Right, let's take this end bit off here. And I'll show you the gubbins inside. I might need to... That should work. Yes, soft enough. All I'm doing here is just bending the edges. There's 2 lugs. Hold the electrics in place. Sorry for the heavy breathing, chaps. It's just going through the gungy phase of this this bout of man flu, and yeah, sorry about that. You just have to put it with a heavy breathing, I'm afraid. Right, we'll take this piece out. Right, then underneath it is just a little rotating chappy. Well, how does he fit in there? Right, he sits over a post. Fanar. Right, there we go. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. What I do is clean all the contacts up and put it back together again. Yeah, you can see there's some arcing on the contacts on the back there. That's not going to have helped it, is it? It's gouged it, arced it. A little bit of Vaseline would have slowed that down. In fact, I've just been able to wipe it off. Look at that. I've got Vaseline on the finger. Right. Let's, so, effectively, within the casing, we've got this chunk here, which is all there, and he sits on a post inside. And this big spring here goes down on the top. And then when I push the pin down, it moves. The pin pushes down on that, and then comes down and pushes down on that. See, it goes one way or the other. You see what I mean? I suspect when it's all held together, it'll be a lot more efficient than that. Now, on this top spring, it looks like this bit. Yeah, this bit wobbles, look. How about that? There's nothing to it. Right, simple switch like this. It's going to go back together again. And we'll probably find it works beautifully. And the reason it wasn't working is because this little lug here had released itself from underneath this little flangelet here and caused the switch to go slightly off centre. Don't just assume that these things are fucked, because they're not always fucked. Right, I didn't actually note then which way around. I think I know which way around it goes, but I'm going to double check by looking at the original. It goes that way round. That's good. Right, so done that. Go and get a bit of Vaseline. I'm not going to go berserk with it. Just wanted to get a little bit in there. It's going to act as a lubricant anyway for now. That's good. And then that goes back on there, like that. It's going to go a bit better than that though. Bum, 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 bum. There we are, he's in now, there he is, he's in. Right, push him in nice and tight, and then peen these bits back over. That one's in. Let's peen that one in as well. Without stabbing myself, of course. Now, there's a bit of movement in that. What I might need to do is just tap it in using the vise and a small mallet. Mallet. Here's a mallet. Notice the correct use of a screwdriver here. Right, that's in. That's in. Right, do the other side as well, just tap it. It's quite soft metal, this. It's probably something like a Burma bright. You see there, I've peened the two edges back over nice and tight, and then we go back down here. And all I've really got now is this plunger, which goes in here, and the cap, which goes over the top. Which goes that way round, and then that way round. Now, is it going to work? It does sound it. So then what I need to do is to push these two. Bastard. Let's put the cross of the crosshead screwdriver on there and then go donk. That's better. And then this side, this side's a lot better anyway, because this is the side that wasn't fucking ballsed up in the first place. Do you reckon it's going to work? Well, what we'll do is we'll do a dry installation. So we'll put a little bit of this gloop around here. Do a dry installation, so I'll wire it up to the bulkhead, and we'll see if the switch is working. The reason I was looking at this, by the way, is because Dad said that the headlights, all headlights apart from side lights, went out again. Now there's two things that sit in the way of all of the lights, headlights and side lights. One of them's a light switch, the other one's this. And the third thing, of course, is the loom. So we'll put the candle back on. And lights on. Right, we haven't got the full beam on yet. I'd say that's going to be a success. Right, so now all I need to do, I think, is to feed the wiring back into the footwell. Turn this back on again because I continue charging this battery. Feed the wiring through to the footwell. They are all fitted in. Fitted in. Let's see if it works. Switches down there. So lights. Yep. And dip. Yep. Works, doesn't it? Right, okay, let's see if it starts now. It does. I don't know why the starter motor was sticky. We'll look at that tomorrow. Next day. It's afternoon now. Been busy all morning. Let's just see if this thing starts today. That's definite improvement, isn't it? Headlights working. There's quite a lot of moisture on the inside of the screen here. The side light out there, I'll fix that later on, but that's this one working, I reckon. Happy enough with that. One job done.